like the first invoice we sent. I still remember that. Like the first invoice, it was kind of amazing. Yeah, it's small things like that. It's not big things.
Man, it's like good ain't good enough, so you gotta be great, and I'ma do whatever it takes, doing what I love of life, and I'll pay the price, and not stopping even if the shit kills me, even if it kills me.
Hi everyone, and welcome to MattGron's Scaling Up Journey, and this is episode 37, and my name is Mattias, and you are Svea.
I'm Svea from Germany, but in Sweden
Yes.
now. And where's our tagline? Tagline.
Tagline is, this is where entrepreneurship runs smack into reality. Nice to have you here even today, Svea.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of every episode, the tagline. So
yeah, I mean,
let's jump right in.
really.
It's Monday. We don't have time to lose. Let's go. I have some questions for you.
Go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Please
All
take
right.
it away. I'm ready. I'm always curious what you will bring up today here. So
they're quite hard. So be prepared. My first question for today is, what is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
Wow. My favorite aspect is that I'm, every day I wake up to be able, like every day I wake up and I building my dream. I spoke about it before, but I really love to win. So I always competing against myself and others. And I think I get a lot of satisfaction overcoming my own fears and limitations, because I always comparing where I am today compared to where I was last year. So that's what I really love being an entrepreneur. And then I also love to see other people grow and accomplish things that they thought was impossible. That's also something, a huge reward for me, being an entrepreneur and leader.
Did you ever work for someone else, really? I know you had some training as a car mechanic, but did you ever work for another company yourself? Or did you just jump right into your own business?
Like I have had a like a normal job once, just for 2 years. When I say a normal job, I mean a full-time job. So yeah, I worked as a sales rep for almost 2 years. Yes.
When you compare the two, like now being an entrepreneur and back in the days, are there some differences where you say, like, this is what you really enjoy over working for someone else? I'm tweaking my question a little bit here. It's an open question.
Yeah, it's really an open question. I think like there is actually a huge difference, like fantasizing about being an entrepreneur and actually being an entrepreneur. I think I was for a long time, and when I say a long time, in one way, I had a period of years when I was like talking about it. I was kind of a wannabe entrepreneur. I even had a business card that said entrepreneur. So I think back then, I had very low self-esteem, and I didn't. There was a lot of fear stopping me from really start my own business and go all in. And one day I did, and I'm it's the best decision I have ever made. And that's why I think, like, my first answer to your question is all about that. It's actually, being an entrepreneur for me is not about milestones and goals. It's everything about actually doing the journey and conquer myself on that journey, and facing my own fears, and building something with my own hands, because everything around me started. I mean, I started from nothing, and that's a huge satisfaction, going back, connecting the dots, and actually, like, wow, this is where we are today, and this is where I started. So yeah, that's my favorite part of being an entrepreneur.
Nicely put.
Journey.
The journey, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I would move on to my next question, because we have to have an eye on the time here. My next question is also quite hard, I think, and very personal. How do you define success?
I think it's actually the last part. I gave you the answer regarding the journey, because I think if I look back, I have of course reached several goals and milestones, but I mean, and I have goals and milestones in front of me, but it's kind of traveling in a car, and then you pass this sign, like, oh, like, okay, now I'm here, and like, then you're already looking forward, and I think sometimes I talk about, I might not celebrate milestones enough, but I'm not wired in that way. I think I really love the game and being in the process, and doing the journey, and that's a huge reason also why I'm struggling with these vlogs, because it's super important for me to actually document what I'm learning in the process. So
yeah.
So like every day in the on this journey is a reward and a milestone itself. So that's success for me. But I think from another perspective, I think as an entrepreneur, you need to create your own game, because I think the society's take on success, if you read the news, and especially around startups and entrepreneurship, I think there's a huge misconception around success, I think.
In what way?
Yes, like, I mean, I think in media, like in general, you read a lot about you read a lot about people get funding for their projects, their startups. I mean, it's almost like that's more successful compared to actually building a business that is functioning. So people are celebrating, like, oh, like we got a lot of funding, and everyone is really happy, and they are.
Yeah, I think in general success is by most people measured in materialistic things, and money and cars and houses, and how many people work for you in your company. But I think there are, like you said, other way to measure success. It's not only about these things. I think a successful life, it's not only about entrepreneurship, but just having a successful life doesn't necessarily need to mean that you have accomplished all these things that society would say is successful. Oh, you bought a house. Oh, you have a nice sports wagon, I think for many people, success can be very different, and they still have a great and happy life even without these things. Yeah. I think that's how we should round up this second question and go over to the next one, which is, I think you kind of answered that already. And that is, did you have some very satisfying moments so far in your business life, or any moment that really stood out to you on your journey? Or I think you said it's more the small things in the journey itself, right? Or were there any milestones that really stuck out to you?
Like I remember something that happened, like the first invoice we sent. I still remember that. Like the
Okay.
first invoice. It was kind of amazing. So, and yeah, it's small things like that. It's not big things.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
What kind of successful moments do you have?
I can 100% relate to what you just said, because my first like official paid job being a photographer, and I mean I had jobs before and they were kind of, like that when I was a
Yeah,
teenager, but like my first official job was actually a dancing group in Berlin that had a performance for a company, and they were hired there to dance for a new product, and they asked me to take the pictures.
yeah,
Very random job, very cool job. Was on a rooftop in Berlin. It was amazing, and I also remember, like you just said, that moment where I sent the invoice was like, "Ooh, it's official! Like I'm an actual photographer now. I have my own business." That was the same thing. Also was a milestone for me. Um, any other satisfying moments for me were, I think, just every day now working with what I love, which is, all these creative things like taking pictures, videos, doing this here with you, which for me is very creative because we have these very interesting conversations and I can edit and create content out of this. Like, this is just what I love doing. And so many people have told me when I was still in school and I said I want to do this creative thing, they said, oh, you should do a real job, and you have like your A levels, you should study something real, like become a lawyer, become a doctor. And I was always saying, no, why would I? I would be super unhappy with my life. And I can just say, I did the right decisions and it's the right thing to follow your dreams. I can just say this from my own experience. It sounds super cheesy, but for me, it's 100% true. And I'm super happy with my life and what I do. And every day I wake up and I don't have to go to a job that I hate and see people I don't want to see. It's amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
these are my happy business moments so far.
yeah. I love that. I was mirroring myself in your answer, and
Mm,
I think that then the happiness is the currency of success, and in one way that's forged your journey, and that's also what keep you focused in your in your process. So I love the answer.
yeah, and
I think that's the takeaway, right?
that it is, and I love that you say that happiness is the currency of success. Nailed
Yeah,
it. All right, that's
nailed
that's
it.
a good ending to our episode, I would say.
Okay.
And thank you all for watching. Comment if you like this video, subscribe. We would be really happy about that. And otherwise, see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye.